Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. It's an unboxing video. Well, obviously. Whoops, already done that bit. One of these is a replacement. One of them is also a replacement. Let's start again. Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. It's an unboxing time. Two of these are replacements. I need more coffee. And one isn't. Yes, that means there's three. I'm getting in a muddle basically because that's what I'm in the middle of doing on the computer, which I stopped because Postman Pat arrived, or DHL arrived, and it's interrupted my chain of flow, chain of thought and all that. I also put I got that wrong. I think I said on my Sunday chat that I was getting together with Lynn and possibly some others to put an order in to, and I'm pretty sure I said a Kearns. I meant Schwerter. Anyway, foreign stuff. EU, but not UK. And it's a Schwerter order. And I think most of us are under the impression now that when we order orchids, we try not to do it in the middle of the winter in the EU because of the potential cold. And also for the last few years, we've had heat waves. You don't want orchids sitting in boxes in 30-35 degrees heat. So there's periods when you don't order online. You just don't do it. And it's getting to the time of year now where it's okay again. And also, probably at the end of this year, when Brexit kicks in, we won't be able to do this anymore. We won't be able to order from the EU in this way, in this manner. So getting orchids will become difficult for us UK people. That's what we voted for, even though a lot didn't think it through. That's what we got. Anyway, so certainly Lynn and I think this is probably the last big order to do from the EU this year. And then we'll see what happens at the end of the year, given that there are bigger problems, well, some would say bigger problems around at the moment for governments to be worrying about. That depends on your viewpoint. If you're young, you're probably not that fussed at the moment with the pandemic because it doesn't seem to be affecting you lot quite so bad. That's all right then, let's all mix together and spread it amongst those that die. That's a good idea, isn't it? Anyway, things are on the change. Blondie's going to stand up tonight and tell us all about it, and it'll be more restrictions and more things we can't do on the grounds we were given the chance to be able to do some of this stuff on the grounds we behaved ourselves, and we haven't, basically. There's some food for thought. Have a think. I'm not going to put any thoughts into this apart from stating it. Where are the hotspots in the UK? Now think of the populations that live in those hotspots. You may find your answer in there as to why it's suddenly going up in homes. I was just going to say, I didn't flip in all... Sorry, I'm concentrating on other things here. Right, concentrate on what you're doing. I did not order this. Now that might mean I haven't got something I did order. I don't know. There's 3 more plants to go and I only ordered 3 plants. And the label just says, challenge plant, good luck. That's difficult to say. On initial glance it looks like an Oncidium type of some sort, or Oncidium alliance, but then I'm a little confused with the ridged leaves, which is not normal. We will have to get the invoice out and have a look, but whatever it is, it's got a spike. It's got a young growth pushing on here. This latest growth is not mature and yet has a spike that's not far off blooming. 2 buds by the look of it, and those buds are inside bracts. So that's not an Oncidium. But I don't know what it is, and I might not even have, I might not be told. And that's a, it's either because one of the ones I wanted isn't here, or it's a freebie. Now I did have a problem with this order. Speciotics Plants has got a problem with eBay at the moment. They've made some changes which the company can't make head nor tail of at the moment, and it's to do with these promotional postage things, which for somebody who wants to buy a plant, singular, one plant, they're good. You know, like say the normal postage is £6 for that plant. If you just buy that one plant, you get the promotional postage, which is it's a discount. Not a huge amount, but it's a discount. However, the normal procedure is that if you buy more than one plant, you pay say £6 for the first one, and then you only pay £2 for the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and that bit on eBay is not working. So I ordered my 3, and when I got to the checkout, it said £12 postage, and I went, that don't sound right. 6 plus 2 plus 2 is not 12. Well, not on my calculator anyway. Anyway, so I sent an email and said there seems to be something up. Can you have a look at it for me? And what I like is the response is almost instant. You know, it's almost like having a chat. When I had the hassle with the Dendrobium Victoria Regina, it was nearly a week before I even got a reply. That's not good. Anyway, nice quick turnaround, and basically got sent an invoice with a more sensible postage on it. It's not the seller's fault, I don't think. It's just the way eBay are doing things at the moment. Right, now let's get back to... When I open this one, if it's the one I ordered, then I've got the 3 that I ordered. If it's not, then obviously that one must have been out of stock or something, but we shall see. And in which case, this will be a replacement. And it is the one I ordered. So what we've got here is a flipping great stick that's going to have somebody's eye out soon. Get that out of the way. That's to stop it wobbling around. That's brilliant, that idea. Now this is Orchid Mr. Sidii, and I had one of these before, and when I remounted it, it keeled over. It damaged too many roots basically, and it just didn't take to its new mount, or didn't take to being unmounted more like. So I decided to get another one because it always grew well for me, and these look like, these are unbloomed plants, but they're not far off blooming. They've got a good number of leaves on them. I mean, mine only had 5 leaves, I think, although it was a mature blooming sized plant. So it's got a good number of leaves, and I like this Orchid because I like the leaves. Let's get in a bit closer. They're patterned. They have like, what's the word? Not serrations, that's gouges, isn't it? I know what I mean. They're patterned, and they're attractive in their own right. So that's a replacement for one that I lost. Let's chip that up there for now. I'll get them out, we'll have a look at them in a minute. Now the next 2 have got blooms on. And one of them looks like it might have got a bit squashed. But I always say, if you buy a plant in bloom and the blooms don't make it in the postage, they'll come again. It's nice to see them for real, but you know, they will come again. So what we've got here is, this is a Phalaenopsis type Dendrobium, and it's Thailand black. It's one of the dark coloured ones, which I do like. Lovely velvety deep purple. So, and they didn't look like bad plants. I mean, this particular one has got a strong central cane. We'll have a better look in a minute when I get it out, but it's also got a strong new cane as well. So its next blooming growth is already on its way, you know, so happy with that one. Stick out. Got more sticks than I can shake a stick at. Already running out of room here. Right, that one, that's not a replacement, but this one is. I'm a fool to myself sometimes. I don't grow Nelly Islas very well, same as I don't grow Zygopetalums very well. I don't like to be beaten. And I don't like to be beaten by something that should not be that flipping difficult. The only difficulty built into Nelly Islas is the amount of Odontoglossum in there that makes them cool growers. It doesn't make them difficult. I mean, Odontoglossums are not difficult plants to grow, they just like temperatures quite a bit cooler than your normal run-of-the-mill Oncidium types. Well, providing you can do that, they shouldn't be difficult, should they? So that's a replacement. Right. That's not a bad looking plant either, we'll get it out. But mine didn't do well on the in the pot, so I mounted it, and it didn't do well on the mount either, and keeled over. I threw it away not that long ago. Yeah, so my challenge plant is not mentioned, so I don't actually know what it is. So there you go, you lot. That's an term of endearment. You good folks, let's put it a bit more politely, have now got a challenge alongside me. We'll have a closer look in a minute, but we need to find out what it is, because like I've always said, when you find out what something is, you can then go and look up how you might want to look after it. And that could be important. It might just be that the care is what I call run-of-the-mill, standard intermediate, normal humidity, medium to bright light, blah, 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 blah. And loads come into that category. But if you've got one that doesn't, you need to know. So, and I'm not being told what it is. So hopefully we will have blooms soon. That may help considerably. Right. Rubbish. Yet another box. Getting a good collection of boxes. I'll turn the camera off for a minute because I need to get in and out of the doorway at the moment, get myself a coffee and get these brain cells working sensibly, or get them concentrating on what I'm doing. I'll be back. Okay, everything's unwrapped, and we'll have a look at the plants now. Got my coffee. Most important. I'm so busy on the computer this morning, I've had so few coffees, it's almost outrageous. Now this is my challenge plant, and the first challenge is, what the hell is it? We will find out hopefully when it blooms. Up until then it would be guesswork, so there's not a huge amount of point. Now in theory I could go on the website and scan through the whole 10 pages worth on eBay, sorry, not the website, on eBay, and scan through 10 pages trying to find something that looked remotely like this. I'd rather not, actually. I'd rather wait, and then the blooms will be a surprise, whatever they're going to look like. But yes, the shape of the plant is not like anything I've got. So we will have to wait and see, won't we? But whatever it is, it blooms on immature pseudobulbs. It's in the tiniest of pot, which probably means it will lift out easily. And on a plant this size, in a pot that size, it's probably a mass of roots. He's going to lift out, yes. Not only a mass of roots, but lots of nice growing root tips. And a lovely blue stain from that'll be a slug pellet, which is good, because hopefully that means it hasn't got any slugs. They are a pain. So that is a very good root mass for a plant that size. So it's very wet at the moment. This new growth here is still pushing out new roots. The little growth over here may well follow suit. So whatever it is, it's not a bad little plant. So thank you for that. I say thank you to a video that's going on YouTube. I don't know whether it'll ever be seen by the appropriate person that I'm saying thank you to. You never know. I think if I was running an orchid business on eBay like that, with that number of plants and that number of customers, I probably wouldn't have time to wander around aimlessly watching YouTube channels. But you never know. Anyway, thanks for that. That'll be a bit of fun. Right, the next one then is the little Arangus, Mr. Sidii. As in Mystic Meg, not Mist and Fog, with a Y in other words. Mr. City Eye. Now the first thing I've noticed now that I've got it out, it's two plants. Or it's one plant with a side shoot that's grown on to be the same size as the original plant. But I highly suspect that that is two plants. So two for the price of one, if they'll come apart. Now we've got signs of growing roots, root tips active. One I can see, there's probably more if I have a good look round. Yes, there's another one there. So it's got an active root system, and again it's a plentiful root system. Now it's in a pot, it could stay in there, but I want it mounted, so it will come out of there. And the main reason is I control watering better on mounts than I do in pots. But if I take it out, the roots are brittle, they break quite easy on this type of Arengus. Just as a comparison, just have a look at the roots on this one, Fastuosa. They're tiny, tiny little hair-like roots, and as brittle as hell. That new leaf's coming on nicely. So a totally different type of root system despite being an Arengus, so you need to know what's going on before you start messing with it. The fact that it's got some growing roots and a reasonable root system, that will take to a mount quite easily, even if it doesn't attach that quickly, because it might have to wait for the next main flush of new roots, which is probably in the spring. Where are we talking about? Mr. City Eye. So it's either central, heading down towards southern Africa, or it's Madagascar. But either way, we're talking southern hemisphere, aren't we? I believe. In which case, maybe not spring. Maybe it's doing it now, because this would be the spring in the southern hemisphere, wouldn't it? I'll have to find out. Let's have a look at the map of the world where Madagascar is, hanging out the right-hand side of Africa. Huge island, actually, Madagascar. Many environments on Madagascar as well. Tropical rainforests and some very rare creatures, insects and orchids. So I'm not sure whether that's a mainland Africa one or a Madagascar one. Most of the ones on Madagascar are unique to Madagascar. Endemic, I think, is the magic word. Right, so that's those two. Next we've got this. This is a popular Phalaenopsis type dendrobium. On the grounds it's got good shaped blooms. The spikes are quite large on it, and I'm looking at the screen now, that is nothing like the real colour. You could go 3 or 4 shades deeper than that from what you're seeing to get to what the real colour is. It's a lovely deep colour. From a distance it looks almost black. Hence the expression or the name, Thailand black. But in good light, it's just a very, very deep purple, but it's got a velvety look. And the lip, the central part of the lip, is virtually black, quite honestly. It's as near to black as you're going to get. So it's one that I've always liked and just never bothered getting. But as I'm down to only one type of Phalaenopsis dendrobium now, I thought we ought to have a friend for it. And it's got a nice strong new growth pushing on. That'll be the next one to bloom, probably. Dare I try and get it out the pot? First thing I'm going to do is tip it over. That's important to me because one of the plants that came from here, we had a slug in under here, and it lived there for some time. And each night it came out and played on some of the other plants, and then went back in under there where I couldn't flip and see it. So every pot I get now, I check the underside. See, now that's also got a very large spider. No, it isn't a large spider, but it's one I don't recognise. And therein can lie a problem. Once upon a time, Hannah was sitting in the chair, we were watching telly, and she just leapt up, and I mean leapt out of the chair, and I said, "What?" And she just pointed at the chair, and there was a very large spider on the chair that was not from this country. So I think that must have come in on an orchid, in a pot, in under the plant somewhere. and probably stayed in the grow room for a while, and then, you know, as the nights got colder, decided to come into the house. But I knocked it off the chair, basically to put my foot on it, and as it landed on the floor, it opened its legs, and it was big. No way did that come from this country. And when they don't come from this country, you don't know what you've got, and the bite could have been nasty. So it got splatted there and then, unknown quantity. And again, although that wasn't anything massive, they don't have to be big to be poisonous, do they? You know, talk about poisonous spiders, talk to the Aussies. I think anything that moves out there is designed to kill you. Right, so that's that one, Thailand Black. We now have a new inhabitant in here. And luckily with spiders, they that didn't look as though it was going to get big, but it certainly didn't look like anything I recognised either. Never mind, it's gone out of my sight now, so at some point that'll get on my hand or something or other and seal its doom. Right, now this is a Nellie Isla, yes, but for me it's the one I like the most. This is called Red Velvet, and this is an exact replacement of the one I lost, Red Velvet. Now, many years ago I had a Nellie Isla when there was only one. You know, it was a new hybrid on the market basically, and lots of people had them, lots of people lost them. And then since then there have been various named clones of Nellie Isla. There is a very attractive one on the go at the moment that's more a purpley colour with tinges of other colours. That's unusual. There's Swiss Beauty, that's around, and that's very similar to the original one. There's also an orange, flavours of orange, that's probably called orange something, I can't remember. But I like this one because it's simpler. It's just basically different shades of red. And it's quite a deep red. And again, the camera's not going to show it in its true depth of colour. But it's a good red, yeah, slight patterning on the lip. The rest of the plant is virtually just plain red. And a nice splash of yellow in the middle. And fragrant. Well, the Nellie Islas are fragrant, so that's just how it is. Right, so that's my order from Speciotic Plants. I've got sellotape on my finger, that needs to come off. And I've put a list into Lynn, who's going to organise getting an order from Schwerter, which is one of the large, very large German nurseries. Has a reputation for pretty good plants and a fast delivery service. Apparently their orders are all held until Monday and they arrive on Wednesday or Thursday, which given the normal rumours about the German post sounds pretty good to me. So that one, I don't know when that'll get ordered, probably not this week, maybe next week or whatever, so we'll see how that goes. And that will probably involve a visit to collect them, you know, because they'll arrive at Lynn's if she's going to control the order, and then people will come and collect them from there, I suspect. But until it all happens, I don't know. Anyway, unboxing video. Was to be 3 new plants and now it's 4. And we'll have to wait and see what that one is. At the moment I'm not sure. Not sure at all. And I'm not going to guess. When the flowers open I would certainly have a guess, but that still might not be enough. But obviously once those blooms open it'll get videoed, and if I can't work out what it is then I'll try nearly 10,000 other people. And thanks for all those new people that have subscribed. That number shot up after Sunday's video, and we're now over 9,900, which means there's less than 100 to go to get to 10,000, and my stats show that my rolling 28 days is gaining nearly 200 subscribers in a 28-day period. Now that's an average, and it can drop right down because remember, some subscribers leave as well as join. It's a rolling figure, which means we may only have a couple of weeks to go and we're going to get to 10,000. So I'll remind you now, there will be a giveaway and it's going to be a good one. You know, this is quite a milestone for me. There isn't another one. Officially, from YouTube's point of view, you don't get another milestone until 100,000. I'll be pushing up flipping daisies before that happens. But it would be nice if it was pushing up orchids, but not in this country. Yeah, so thanks to those who've joined in. And as I said, there will be a giveaway and a brief thing that I've... you know, all I can think of is I'm not giving money away because it can be used on any old thing. So the chances are it will be vouchers chosen by the winners once we know who they are. And that did have an S on the end, winners. Once we know who they are, and they'll have to find either a garden centre or a nursery, or I'm happy if it's plant related. It doesn't have to be orchids, but I prefer it was. You know, let's keep it orchids. That's what the channel's about. And that's why people watch it. So, you know, it'd be nice if people chose an orchid nursery that does online and does vouchers. So you can be thinking about that if you're going to go in for this. And everybody's involved. We will have one for America, one for the EU, and one for the rest of the world. Now, the rest of the world often think that's not fair, but you stand a better chance of winning than the other two because of the numbers game. Yeah? If, you know, 90% of my viewers are in the States. So you've got a lot of competition for yours, yeah? And then out of what's left, quite a high portion of that is the EU, and quite a high portion of that is actually the UK. And then the rest of the world actually make up quite a small number relative to the others. So 3 prizes at that level: States, EU, rest of the world, and some sort of voucher that can be spent at an orchid nursery online purchase, or if you're close enough to one, take it along and hand it over, even better. So you don't waste anything on shipping. But how you spend it's up to you, but I want it plant related. Plus, when you do go in for this, you will need to be subscribed to the channel. So if you're not and you're watching, now might be a good time to do it, because I will check. Doesn't stop you unsubscribing afterwards. I've got no control over it. But it would be nice if you're going to join in with the channel and go in for a, you know, for a giveaway like this. I think it's polite, if nothing else, to be subscribed. So, but I'll leave it up to you. And I'll see you next time. I must get back to what I was embroiled in before I was rudely interrupted by Postman Pat. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.